Alright, everybody, it is time for Lunar Magic. It is time to continue our series where we can teach you how to make your very first ROM hack. This is lesson 2.1. Lesson 2.1. We'll be talking about the basics of level development as well as exits and why you need to learn about exiting, how exit levels work, how pipes work, all that jazz. I am using a brand new clean ROM hack of Super Mario World to demonstrate this because I am working on something for you guys for next week where we're gonna start adding custom blocks and all that good stuff. This lesson is important because you're gonna get to learn how to make your very first level as well as how pipes work, doors, and all that. So we're gonna remove level 105. We're gonna remove everything from level 105. We're gonna remove all sprites except for Mario. So we remove all sprites so that we can do this um on our own. Okay, so the way this is gonna work is we're gonna be making a normal level. We're gonna make we're gonna make this a normal level. No Kaizo, no nothing like that. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with objects. Get started with objects. The objects window is the turn block right here. Click that. Make sure you guys have your open window. Make sure you are on layer 1. Editor mode before getting started. We're going to be using a ledge here. All you have to do, press left click on the menu here and then right click to place it down. We're going to lengthen the ledge here a little bit. Right around there. We're going to do another one. We're going to do some more. And then we're going to add some stuff. All right, our ledges have been built. Let's go ahead and add some enemies. Actually, let's add some more stuff. Let's go with this. We're gonna go with the left edge right here, like this. Actually, no. Wait. Let me remove that one. Let's get this one. No. This one right here. No. There we go. This is the one I'm looking for. Yeah, this is the one. And then this one right here. There we go. And then let's go add a sprite. We're gonna add we're gonna add a mushroom right there. And now let's test it. Press F4 to test your ROM hack. We're gonna test our little ROM hack right now. To make sure we did everything correctly. Right, very nice. We have our lid. Nice, we have a mushroom. And now we're gonna add some stuff. Awesome. Alright. Now let's go ahead and add some enemies. We're still on Sprite Editor mode with the turtle shell. We are going to add some Koopas right here. And let's add a coin. The coins I'm looking for are this one XY. We're gonna use the object mode. We're gonna add some coin like this. Nice little coin. And then we are going to go ahead and add let's go add a throw block. Add some throw block. I'm gonna go to sprite editor mode. Move the turtle over here. Let's test it out again. Next week we're gonna start adding customized stuff from SMWCentral. We have our coin, we have our little Koopa, we have our mushroom, and we have the little throw block. Awesome. Nice. Now we're gonna move on. Some we're gonna add some pipes and flour. But we're not gonna use exits yet. Now now later we're gonna be talking about pipes. Make sure you press the blue door icon for the screen exit. We're gonna get back to that later. Let's add pipes. This one right here. We're gonna add that is a object, so we're good. We got little two pipes right here. And then we're gonna add the jumping piranha plant. That's a sprite. We can put them right here. And then we're gonna test it again. Nice. Okay, good. We have our little pipe. We have our little throw block. Nice. Now these pipes don't do anything because it's not the one with exit enabled. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that in a moment. What's going on, John? How are you? So we are going to add now. Let's have some coin right here. No, that is an object. We're gonna add some coin right here, and then we are going to add. Let's add a thing here. Let's add. Let's add a ledge here. We can grab onto. Uh, right here, and then let's go right side. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like Super Mario Brothers X. Yeah, a lot of people call this the original Mario Maker. Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. There we go. I have to figure out how to flip the XY. Yeah, that's not gonna look good. Don't forget to save. Control save. Nice. And then we can add some coins here. Let's test it out. Oh, my my bad. I forgot to jump there. Don't forget, if you want more Mario fun later tonight on TikTok, I'm actually gonna be playing another ROM hack for you guys live on TikTok only. Okay, I think I made it that too high. Yeah, I made it a little bit too high. I only got there because of the spin jump. Thank you so much for subscribing, Devon. So, now let's have some fun. I'm gonna copy this over here on this side, but I'm gonna make it high so you're forced to use the pipe. Now I want to show you guys how pipes work. This is very important because you cannot just plop down the pipe. That's not how this works. Ah, that's the wrong one again. So you have to use a pipe to get here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block this area on purpose. So you're forced to use the pipe. Now that is bad design, but I want to explain why you need to use the pipe and you have to be very careful on how you set it up. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be putting a pipe down, which is an object, but I'm not gonna put down this pipe. This pipe is not as a normal pipe. You see this, there's a distinction between this one and the other one. This one says with exit enabled. Exit enabled means you can go down the pipe, as in you can enter the pipe. Now I'm going to put this one over here. Then I'm going to add another pipe, and on top, this one over here, so that you can go in here, you can go there. This one is with exit enabled. I'll explain why this is important. I'm going to say yes. I'm explaining that in a moment. So I told you that screen exits are important. Right now we are on screen 3. The way Super Mario World works is it's different screens. Alright? So when you go play the game, there's different screens. Different screens, they have different items, different objects, different enemies. So on screen 3, we have the jumping piranha plant and the pipe. And we always have this pipe, the one that's going to take us to that one over there. So what we need to do is we are going to go to the screen exits. What's going on, Bryce? So you see here we have the doors right here, right? So we are going to modify screen exits dialog, which is the plus minus door. So we are going to screen number of exits to modify. Ours is on number 3. We're going to clear all screens so that it's just our game, our ROM hack. All right. We're going to go to screen 3 and we're going to go ahead and use the above value as a secondary exit number. We're going to press the secondary exit number is 1. Press and press OK. The next thing we need to do is we're going to go to the door with number 2. Modify secondary entrances. So we typed in number 1. Okay. We're going to clear all slots. So it's just this one. Type 1. The destination level number is 105. The screen entrance number is 404 to be precise in programming. Then over here on Mario Action, we're going to put vertical pipe exit up. Press OK. Then we're going to use Sprite Editor mode and move Mario toward that pipe that we just made. We're going to press save. Actually, let me go one more just in case. We're going to save it and we're going to test it. Don't forget, if you guys are fans of Critical Role, later tonight, 7 o'clock, they're going to start Age of Umbra for Dagger Heart, if you ever wanted to try that. Okay, good. I'm playing my level. Nice, 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 nice. Cool. And you see this pipe. Oh, that's a bad game. That's bad. You see, I have the pipe. I actually made a mistake. Hang on, let me fix it. So first, this needs to go down one more. Second, I forgot to close the ledge here. So let me do that. And third, let me explain why you need to do the modify screen exit. Because if you do not modify your screen exit, what you're going to do end up doing is if you go down that pipe without modifying the exit, you're going to what they call bonus room purgatory. So, might as well, what is that? So, so if you play Mario World ever, if you ever play Mario World, you know that if you get 100 star points at the end, you get a bonus game and you get extra lives, right? Well, bonus room purgatory is basically that same thing, except you're never getting out. This is because the bonus game is you get out after you finish the bonus game. But bonus room purgatory basically says is that you do not get out until your time is up. Basically, bad game design 101. You have to um modify your screen exit. It's one of the signs of a bad hack. It doesn't matter if every other exit is modified. If not all exits are modified, it's a bad hack. Now, if you forgot to do it, that's one thing. But if you do it constantly, um, that's a bad hack. This is the same thing for doors. It's the exact same system for doors. Also, another thing, you notice that there's a line here. This line is because I want to see the screen exit, the screen. So right now, this pipe is on screen 3. Okay? Never ever put a transition pipe, aka the one with the um screen exit with the exit enabled on the line of another screen. Don't do this. Never do this. The reason why is because if you enter on the right side, screen 4, you're going to bonus room purgatory. If you enter from the left side, screen 3, you're going to this pipe. Never ever put the pipe on the line because players may accidentally enter the pipe on the right side of that line. And then they're going to complain they're in bonus room purgatory. Meanwhile, those on the left side enter the next part of the level. So be very careful on putting the pipe or door on the line. Never ever put the door or pipe that has an exit enabled on the line. This also applies to door, the small door for Mario, small Mario, especially in Kaizo hacks, which we will talk more about next week when we actually start designing the Kaizo hack. So the next part of the level is we are going to add more enemies and stuff. Let me actually test one thing before we continue making this level. I just want to make sure that I put the Mario guy, the Mario sprite in the right spot. Because I want to make sure that it's properly done. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I just want to make sure. But this one does not have the exit enabled. So this pipe does nothing. So I'm gonna enter this pipe again. Yep, we're good. If you put the pipe with the exit enabled here, you're going to bonus room purgatory because you never modified the screen exit. This screen, number 4. Alright, so be very careful. Now we're gonna be making another another section. Let's go ahead and put this one. Gross, not this one. This one. Yes. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. Now we're gonna make this section harder down. Wrong one. Let's do this one. We're gonna add this one. It looks like we have two mountain. I'm gonna add one more. I'm gonna extend. I'm gonna try to extend this a little bit. No, I can't. Okay, nice. Now we're gonna add some enemies, and we are going to add our green boy Yoshi. But first, before we add Yoshi, we're gonna add enemies. Let's do Muncher. Now this is not a Kaizo hack because there's ways to get around this. We got Mr. Munchie boy. We're gonna add a Muncher bridge. You must get used Yoshi to get across. Only Yoshi can walk on this thing. The little muncher bridge. And then on the other side, we're going to add a checkpoint, which we were going to modify in just a moment once we do this muncher bridge. So we have Mr. Muncher Bridge. We're going to get Yoshi. We got Green Yoshi. He is a sprite, so turtle shell. We're going to put Yoshi over here. Mr. Yoshi over here. Now there's two ways to use Yoshi. We can do the sprite editor mode, 18, 8 by 8, 16 by 16. And we're going to be looking for block number, let's see. Yeah, block number 126. So block number 126, that is considered an object. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's an object. So we're gonna put it over here. I'm gonna put this up so that you don't accidentally go back up. You don't go back the other way. Okay, I think we're good there. Now we're gonna remove Yoshi so that you can get this Yoshi. We're gonna go ahead and test it. You test from the beginning. So little turtle there, our turtle friend. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. Hype. Awesome. There's Yoshi. I just want to make sure of the thing here. Okay, we're good. Nice. Now, we're gonna cross over Muncher Bridge. Awesome. You see how Yoshi is the only one who can do this? You have to cross Muncher Bridge. Because Muncher's munching all the way down Muncher Bridge, Muncher Bridge. We're going to find a checkpoint now. We're gonna add that right now. Okay, so that was little Muncher Bridge, but I'm not gonna make it easy. We are going to add a bouncing power Goomba. I believe they can fit in there. Actually, hold up. Let me change this way. Remove this. I think that's how you do that. And remove that, I think. No, let me go back. There we go. Oh, wait, I know what's going on. Okay. I know what's going on. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. There we go. I need to get the one that says walkthrough. And then this also needs to be walked through. But the top, I believe, can be. Let me see. There we go. Let me actually edit this. And then so that the bottom of this can also be walked through. How far that? Oh, that went way down. But if you go downstairs, that's walkthrough. Let's actually test this to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Because sometimes I forget which layer is correct. Next week, we're going to continue the level, but we're gonna add custom blocks from the community. Like we're gonna use SMWCentral. Okay, nice. Pipe. Yeah, I wanna see. Okay, I blocked this way. I just wanna see something here. Okay, I see what's going on. Okay, so this blocks it. You always block here. Okay, so be very careful. You're blocked here because of the ledge. So once you make it up here, you cannot go back. Actually, you can with Yoshi. And then you cross Muncher Bridge. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go ahead and zoom in. Hold zoom in here by holding control. No, wait. Press V. I'm gonna zoom in 200%. I'm gonna make sure I am doing this correctly too. So be very careful where you jump. I'm gonna extend this now. Object mode. I'm gonna move this guy. I'm gonna move Mr. Guy over here. Then over here, I am going to add one more ledge here so that you can get up like this. There we go. So now you have a way to get up. All right. Then up here, we're gonna add some coin. All right. Then over here, we're gonna add some coin. And then we're gonna add more coins over here. Actually, before we add coin, yeah, there we go. We're gonna lower it down, and then we're gonna across the bridge. All right. Then we are going to add a checkpoint. We're gonna add the base. The base, however, is a little bit different. This is in the 16 by 16 tile editor guide. Make sure you guys are on object mode. We're going to go to this guy right here. Part of the midway tile, we're going to place it right here. The second part, I believe, is this. Nice. Okay, that's our midway point. Now, you see the midway point thing here. All right. Don't use this one. Instead, We're gonna use the object portion. It's under I believe it's under extended object, or is it a sprite? No, it's right there. There it is. Actually, let me get the other one. Let me actually get the other one instead. Let's go to this one. Let me get this instead. No, this one right here. There we go. And then the top. No, 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 no. Where is it? Oh wait, that's why I'm on the wrong tile. There it is. Now we should be able to put the. Wow. It's not letting me. Because it's a very specific tile. Let me see if I can add that object one more time. Because this is a little bit um like this. Nope, that's the top. Because if you use this, then it's gonna respawn no matter what happens. Okay, let me try something. Because I think I put the thing way too many times. No. Let me see if I can add the other version of this. No, not this one. Yeah, this is be cut off, but let's see if it works. Actually, before we do that, go back to the door where it says 1 and look at screen 7. So the screen number of midway entrance is going to be 7. Press OK. Mario is a sprite. The sprite editor mode, you're going to put Mario right here after the midway. And then press save. And then let's test it. So let's go ahead and go to our level here. Do our little level here. Okay, nice. Yoki's coming up. We got the midway point. We just lost a life there. Now we should be coming back on that screen. Yep, we're right here. So this is where you come back to because it plays Mario right here. Now, because you did die, you don't have Yoshi anymore. That's okay. Because in Kaizo hacks, what do you do with Yoshi? You dump him. Duh. That's what you Kaizo hacks do. Well, maybe I'll be nicer with Yoshi in my hack, but I'm not going to be giving any promises. Anyway, now, what do you do after midway point? Usually for a player, you give them a mushroom. So we're going to do that. We're going to be using a mushroom sprite. We're going to give it, um, let's put it in a area where they have to jump to. So object mode, we're going to go to all objects. We're gonna do a ledge. We're gonna make them jump on the ledge. Two tile ledge. We're gonna make sure they jump for it. Again, wrong one. Right edge and then left. Nice. And then we're gonna go back to sprite, and then we're gonna put the mushroom. There it is. Mushroom right there. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna reset Lunar Magic. Sometimes it does this. So hold on. Sometimes the graphics will go a little wonky. Uh, there we go. Let's try that again. Right there and right there. Nice. Go back to that was a sprite. So turtle shell, tur turtle shell, and let's add our mushroom again. There we go. So if the sprites go a little wonky or the graphics go a little wonky, just reset Lunar Magic. Make sure you save though. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and understand of how to finish a level. So I am going to go ahead and put another object. I'm going to zoom out though. Let me see. I'm gonna copy this ledge and I'm gonna place it over here. Now, very important. Now this is technically the end of the level. I'm going to call it the end of the level here. But I want to explain um what happens next. So you're gonna grab, I believe the end level area is a object, yes. So this is an object. We're gonna place it right there. And then on a sprite, we're gonna use oops, the sprite. We're gonna be using normal exit gold point tape. We're gonna place it on the bottom. Now there you might be wondering, wait a second, there's four of them. That is because in Super Mario World you are allowed to have two exits, also known as the secret exit or key. Now, we're not going to go into that until later down the line because that requires the use of knowledge of events. And we're not going to be going to touch events until next week or so, or even later down the line. Because events require the use of animation in terms of pathing. We're not going to get to that tonight. There's just no way. But you are required to use a goal point area. I'm going to make sure this is correct. I'm going to extend this by a little bit. I'm going to copy this, put that here. I'm going to resize right there. I'm going to make sure there's enough room to run, to walk. Here's what happens. The moment you hit the goal tape, you are invincible from enemies. However, you are not invincible from falling off the stage. That is still possible. Now, you might know this in Kaizo hacks. In Kaizo hacks, they do something called trolling. So you see, you have an orb or you have the end level gold tape. In some levels, there's gonna be like a pit right here. Let's just say, for example, right around here. All right. If you hit that gold level gold tape and you fall off the stage, that's gonna count as a debt, and it's gonna count as if you never finished the stage. Be very careful. That is okay to do for Kaizo hacks, but for normal level hacks, don't do that. That's bad level design. Only do that for Kaizo hack and make sure that there's a solution. As in, for example, if you have like a pit, but there's like a muncher and there's a silver P switch, you can turn that muncher into a coin and Mario can fall into that area and you'll be okay. Let's now clear this level. And then we're gonna, this is the overworld. This is what I'm talking about event. But we're gonna get there when we get there. Because it's a whole different can of worms. Because next week we're gonna be talking about custom objects and stuff. And patches too. We're gonna be talking about custom mechanics. We're gonna checkpoint. We're gonna clear the level now. So you see how it has enough space for Mario to walk? That's good. That's a very good level design. Now I have not modified Yellow Switch Palace. So that's not gonna do anything. But yes, you can actually modify the overworld, which we'll go into another time. Because it's not as easy as modifying a level. So now that you know a little bit of how to do a normal level, next week we're gonna use custom blocks and custom sprites. We're also gonna dive into UberAsm, which is another program that realm hackers use. We're also gonna dive into patches in terms of like custom mechanics, including a wall jump. So we're gonna dive into that to make it more dynamic, and then in a few weeks we're gonna combine what you have learned in lesson two and all the subsections, and we're gonna make a Kaizo level. So that's gonna be the goal for lesson two. Build up to Kaizo level using what we're about to learn next week. You're about to learn of how to use Uber ASM, Pixie for custom sprite, and some other cool stuff that I wanna dive into with you guys. But in terms of like a normal level, this is how you make a normal level. Now, now I have noticed that some people do not even modify the overworld, and that's okay. your first hack, don't worry too much about, oh, I have to have the most complicated overworld. No, the majority of the time that you're making a ROM hack, you're not even worried about the overworld. The overworld can come in at any moment, anytime you like. The mo- the most important part of the ROM hack is number one, the levels, level design, and more in particular, if you're working more on Kaizo levels, how creative are you using the mechanics and using the assets that you downloaded? How creative can you be with just the normal platform? Because in Mario Maker, you can see me make Mario Maker stages, but it's not as dynamic because it's Mario Maker. Here, it's you can be as creative as you can be because it's Super Mario World. So yeah. So next week we're gonna be talking about more customized blocks, and then we're gonna be talking about custom mechanics using patches, and then we're gonna make our own Kaizo level, and then we're gonna be talking about eventing through the overworld and how we can modify the overworld to make it our small hack that we are doing that. And we can customize a lot of stuff. So we're gonna be doing that starting next week. Until then, I hope you had fun hacking Mario World. We're gonna have some more fun next week when we talk about custom blocks from the community because some of them are ridiculously good. I gotta say, ridiculously good. But those require a few things that we need to. I'm going to go over myself and over the weekend. Enjoy. We'll see you tonight on TikTok for Mario ROM hack. We're gonna be playing Vanilla Islands made by Gamma Prime. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Later tonight on TikTok, Yuki Productions on TikTok. Enjoy. Have a great night. We'll see you guys at 9:30 for Mario and more ROM hacking next week.